A warm welcome once again, and thank you for keeping it right here on Sunrise at Sea this morning. Do not forget that we are streaming live on our website, that is at www.ctv.co.ug. Well, today on the Twitter Jabs, the conversation continues, and this morning we are looking at Parliament's new leadership. Of course, that is in regard on Friday. Members of Parliament gathered at the Kololo Independence Grounds to elect a Speaker of Parliament together with the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. And this today, our major issue or our focus is going to be on the fact that we did receive a number of mixed reactions on social media and throughout the public, where some people were saying it was too soon, while others were saying, is Honorable Annet Among the right person to take up that position of speakership, while others were actually asking, is Honorable Thomas Tayebwa the right person to take up the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, I beg your pardon. And also do not forget that at first we did have Speakers of Parliament such as Honorable Edward Sekandi, and he was deputized by Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, which then later led to Honorable Rebecca Kadaga becoming the Speaker of Parliament, and she was later on deputized by the fallen Speaker of Parliament, that is Honorable Jacob Olanya, may his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, when Honorable Olanya did take on position, of course, that is the fallen Speaker, he was deputized by Honorable Annet Among. Now, it should also be noted that Honorable Annet Among is the shortest serving Deputy Speaker, that Deputy Speaker of Parliament that actually did take on this seat for about 8 months and a few days. So the big question is, and that is why we're going to be looking at the new leadership when it comes to Parliament. Well, joining me at the center of this conversation is none other than Mr. Felix Adupa. And for those who do not know him, if you follow what happens on the media and social media very closely, you must know that he is the chairperson for the NRM Cadres Association. That is actually the committee that did front and push the bill for MPs to be able to vote for the president. Well, he was also former member of Parliament for Chiyoga. Yes, Chiyoga, that is actually Chiyoga independent candidate and candidate for constituency representative. Well, good morning, sir, and thank you for joining me this morning.
You're welcome. Welcome our viewers to watching CTV this morning.
Yes.
First of all, to correct you, I am not the chairman of NRM Transformer. I am the president of Transformer Cadres Association, okay. Uganda. This narrative of NRM, you media has been bringing it every day, NRM. We are called Transformer Cadres Association Uganda. Okay. That I am their president. Then secondly, I am a former parliamentary candidate for Kyoga County. Yes. That is in the Molata district. Okay. Yes. So today we'll look at the conversation around the recently elected Speaker of Parliament together with the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. So my first question would be, what is your take on the new Speaker of Parliament? The Right Honorable Annet Among, according to my observation, I've been observing her for the last 8 months. So far, she has shared about 72 sessions in the House. And out of the 72, I think there's only one session that has been controversial. Okay. Out of the 72. And there was no problem. I have not had members of Parliament coming out complaining about our leadership in Parliament. I have not seen a debate in Parliament mixed with a lot of controversy and so on. Therefore, in my own opinion, I believe that she is going to take the position and she's going to perform. Okay. I have got no doubt in the leadership of the Right Honorable Annet Among. Because, you know, that Parliament is not you alone. Even you can sit in that chair. Parliament has got different roles. Your work is administration. Remember, she has got support staff, a fully fledged department of legal, committees, and a clerk. Therefore, people should stop this mixed reaction that, she was just a deputy speaker for 8 months. She cannot take. She chaired the House when the late Right Honorable Dr. Jacob Olanya was not there. She was chairing the House. Yes. And I have not seen these members of parliament say, no, the House of today was not, very well. The deputy speaker could not know what to do. Are you aware she is the one who chaired the House that approved the Prime Minister and the Vice President? We have now the Vice President and the Prime Minister. That House was chaired by the Right Honorable Annet Among, and she did it perfectly. So I don't have doubt. The new leadership in Parliament, yes, it is a task that she needs to, to perform. And she has, entered into her shoes that was not that fit enough for her. But she has demonstrated that she can manage it. I want to see that Parliament discussing matters of national importance, real matters of national importance.
Yes.
Not these matters of national importance, somebody gets up, an honorable member gets up and said, Right Honorable Speaker, I've raised on matters of national importance. Yesterday in Bugolobi A zone, our neighbors' dogs was barking, all the neighbors could not sleep, including me, member of parliament. You can imagine, Right Honorable Speaker. Okay. We don't want to see her chairing her House and such a serious matter is raised on the floor of parliament.
Okay.
So I am urging also members of parliament, yes, to do the Right Honorable Annet Among a good service, okay, by having a quality debate. A speaker cannot generate a quality debate if those who are supposed to debate are not generating quality debate.
That is indeed true.
So you should not blame a speaker when the quality of debate in the House is bogus. It is not the speaker. So the leader of opposition has a duty. The government chief whip has got a duty. Other party whips, FDC whips, UPC whips, and so on, has got a duty
to play.
To play.
Okay.
What kind of parliament do we want? As the opposition, what do we have to communicate to the House? When a debate is brought, let's say now people are going for a budget. Actually, it is in it first of its kind when the ministerial policies, statements, and so on has been laid before even the budget has been passed. So the budget has been discussed already at a committee stage. Now we are going to see when the budget has already been read by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. When people are going to talk about this, who are those supposed to talk on the opposition side? We need people who have got knowledge, real economists. Okay? They have them in the opposition. I don't think if Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi is going to talk about economy, is talking about the budget, you are going to doubt.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But when you pick anybody, so it is time that members in the opposition line up people basing on what discussion is on the floor of parliament, basing on what is on the order paper of the day. Not everybody is supposed to talk.
Okay.
Same applies to the NRM section, the government chief whip. Bring those members who can discuss issues basing on what has been brought on the order paper. In that manner, the work of the speaker will be very easy. The only thing that speaker will be doing is to perform the duties to make sure that the rules of procedures are followed.
Okay.
To its logical conclusion. Because sometimes somebody just, Right Honorable Speaker, order, does not even know the basis of what time and how do you raise such a order. Somebody raise on a point of order and start explaining. Automatically you are out of order. Yeah. You must go straight on order. Somebody said procedure, does not even know what procedure are you raising on. So what the Right Honorable Annet Among supposed to do right now, our prime duty and roles is to make sure that the rules of procedure of Parliament is to work on properly.
Okay.
You don't just get up and talk. You must be under certain rules. I am raising this matter according to rules 34, subsection A of the rules of procedure.
Okay.
Are you seeing?
Yes.
So
yes.
it gives quality
To what you're even going
what
to
you are
submit.
saying. First of all, I am not talking because I am a member of Parliament. I am talking because there is certain rules that allows me to present such an issue to the floor of Parliament.
Mr. Dupa, I like exactly what you've highlighted in regard that even as MPs, you know, front their bills and different motions that they actually have to be in order. And among the things that the fallen speaker, that is the Honorable Right Jacob Oulanyah, may his soul rest in eternal peace, he did say and he did highlight that no more MPs will actually front bills or will actually come onto the floor of Parliament unless they have done extensive research to back up the things that they're actually fronting. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I want to concur with what the Right Honorable, the late now Dr. Jacob Oulanyah has been agitating for.
Yes.
That all debate must be based on evidence, facts. It is not a debate if there are no evidence, facts, and a research-based debate. You see, Parliament has got a research department. Parliament has got a fully pledged library, stock for members of Parliament. But sometimes you find even a member is pronouncing himself or herself on something that he or she doesn't understand. So I believe if God had allowed the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah to be in that house, the quality of debate would be polished. Ugandan's parliament will be one of the parliament that you can benchmark from.
Yes.
Because debate, if you're seeking leave of parliament and you want to come up with a private member's bill, you have to do a lot of research. As this bill I'm coming up with, how does it help the people of Uganda? How does it help the government of Uganda? How does it even make Parliament, the institution of Parliament, strong? Those kind of legislation. So you must do a lot of research. You don't just come and seek leave of Parliament. You know, the Speaker must be persuaded that indeed,
why you need to be granted.
Indeed you deserve a leave of Parliament to come and draft and consult on a private member's bill that the nation needs to pay attention to.
Okay.
So I think that is one thing that the Right Honorable Annet Among should pick. That not every private member's bill, any member who wants to seek leave of Parliament will be granted leave of Parliament.
So in other words, this is something that Honorable Annet Among should actually take up.
She should take it up.
Okay.
She should pick it up. We don't want any legislation. We have seen members seeking leave of Parliament. At the end of the day, their bills end up dying in the corridors. Okay? Others does not even reach third reading of the bill. But this is a member who has sought leave of Parliament and he has been granted, or she has been granted leave of Parliament. Now you ask yourself that, hey, but this member was granted leave of Parliament to go and do what? We have not seen the light of the bill. Are you seeing?
Yes. So
many bills dies in 10th Parliament, in 9th Parliament, without seeing light up to today. So I believe that members of Parliament who would wish to seek leaves of Parliament to go and have private members' bills to bring and discuss, and so that Parliament can accept some of them, should do a lot of research.
Okay.
Should do a lot of consultation with different stakeholders, so that the bill that you're bringing in the floor of Parliament should be a bill that unites Parliament, should be a bill that when you bring it, both House consider and said, yes, this is the legislation we want.
Okay.
So you set a record. You set a precedent for Parliament. You know, you set authority. So when you're speaking, at least even there's a respect accorded to you. They will say, Honorable so and so, this is not the first bill he has brought on the floor of Parliament. I will remember we now have this as an act of Parliament because of him or her. Yeah. So those are the things that the late Right Honorable Jacob Lukore Olanya wanted to see this Parliament is. So I think Right Honorable Annet Among should pick this.
Okay, so as the newly elected Speaker of Parliament, that is Honorable Annet Among, what do you think her first assignment should be? Of course, after they have the body of Olanya, the late Honorable Olanya, has been flown in and then fully buried. What should be her first assignment?
Right now, as the Speaker of Parliament, her first assignment is to preside over Parliament, to pay tribute
to her
former boss.
Yes.
You can see how this one things change. That is life. It's a natural phenomenon. We can't walk away with it.
Yes.
That is how world is. So she will first preside over Parliament to pay tribute to the fallen Speaker. Then our second duty, of course, now we are in a budget process. She will be chairing those budget reading. That is another big assignment ahead of her. She has also to make sure that the committee reports are submitted on time. Ministerial policies and statements are also on time in the floor of Parliament. Another thing that I think she will need to deal with, there is that the tendencies that the executive, especially the cabinet ministers and state ministers, have been doing. You find that in sittings, ministers are not in the house. I really want her to make sure that she gets hold on those ministers. We have errant ministers that they think that Parliament is doing nothing. You find a issue has been raised by a member.
Okay.
And this matter should be directed to a certain ministry. And you find that minister responsible for that ministry is not in the house. Other minister just gets up from wherever he or she is sitting and said, Right Honorable Speaker, the minister in charge of this is out of the country. Therefore, I request Honorable Member to give us some time as we communicate to this ministry. Really?
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
It is now time that the Right Honorable Speaker should get hold of ministers. If you are not in the house and matters that have been discussed, have been brought in your line ministry, and you are not been in the house, direct rules. If I was the Speaker, rules. Tell Parliament why you have not been in the house. Why do you want another minister in charge, different ministry, to be responsible to answering some of your questions? Why would you allow Right Honorable Prime Minister to be answering everything of the government position as if these ministries are not working? She should put ministers on order.
In order.
Ministers have become problem in this country in the floor of Parliament. Ministers have become problem in this country in attending parliamentary sittings. This is one thing that people does not know. So what we are discussing issues of national importance, it touches your ministry and you are not in the floor. You are not in the house. And you are the one who is supposed to implement some of these things. You are the one supposed to implement resolution that passed by Parliament. So that is a task I would wish to see the Right Honorable Annet Among handling it straight away. Ministers should not be absent from the house. That's why cabinet is on Monday. Even if the president himself even respect the day of parliamentary sitting, he does not call cabinet on Tuesday.
Yes.
He calls cabinet on Monday. And they expect that issues that have been discussed in cabinet, ministers are supposed to make implementation. So where are all the ministers on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and Thursday? Where are the ministers?
I like the fact that you've highlighted key points, and these are actually issues that were highlighted earlier on during the reign of the fallen Speaker of Parliament, and also other speakers, that state ministers were actually missing some of these processions. But looking and considering the fact that we actually had healthy competition, of course, that is in regard to the election of both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of Parliament between the ruling party and opposition, is it now safe to say that opposition and the ruling party can work hand in hand when it comes to parliamentary sessions?
For the first time, the opposition had exhibited high distinct of moral integrity.
Okay.
I want to give the Right Honorable Matthias Mpoga a credit. I think in this leadership, I have seen a different way oppositions are doing the things.
Okay.
Is for the first time I am seeing opposition conceding a defeat. I have seen Honorable Basarela coming out and said, I have considered defeat and I'm ready and willing to work with the new speaker. That is what they have exhibited. For the first time, we have seen opposition having one candidate for the speaker and for the deputy speaker, and all of them. By the way, the person who was fronted by the opposition for deputy speaker is my comrade. We competed in Kyoga County together.
Yes.
And the voters said, oh, you wait, let him first to go. He has also considered a defeat, and I think that is the kind of the opposition we want. We don't want opposition keeps on walking out. Okay? Opposition under the leadership of Honorable Matthias Mpoga need now to, closely work with the speaker, because he's the boss of the house. Okay? They should be now looking at negotiation of a win-win situation. Okay? A win-win situation. By the way, negotiation can make that parliament work perfect. So, I think without fear or any ill contradiction, I have even seen Honorable Zake hugging the speaker while Joel Senyon whispering. I don't know what he was whispering into the ears of the speaker. So I can see there is a light.
At the end of the tunnel.
There is a light. I'm seeing that parliament will work, will deliver.
Okay.
Let's give them time. But they should start, legislation that help this country.
Okay.
They should discuss things that help this country to get out of poverty, help this country to, attain a middle income status, help this country to get out of the soaring prices of commodities and goods, which is degenerating. I want them to start looking into that matter.
Critical issues.
Those are critical issues. It is an issue that the country needs to look at now.
Okay.
So I don't have a biasness in Right Honorable Annet Among working with the opposition, because all of them were from the opposition.
In the first place.
In the first place.
Yes, that is.
So they were comrades before.
Before.
There are people who are in FDC, they were comrades with Honorable Annet Among. Semu Junganda was a comrade of Annet Among. Tayebwa was a comrade of Annet Among. So I think those people have got power and capacity to talk to their friends and said, however much you differ with us on this, but what about on this? Can we also work on this? I think that house has got new breed. And I think the house is now having generational leaders, the generation. That's one thing you should forget. Look at the leader of the opposition now. Look at the deputy speaker. Look at the speaker. Look at even the commissioners in parliament. It is the generation. So that shows you that the power is shifting. But people does not take time to look into this. The power is shifting. It is now our own generation. If we are to fail that parliament, we should not blame these people. We should blame ourselves.
Yes, for the failure.
The goalpost has changed. We said the Museveni's regime, the Museveni's errors, they have done us the service. Now we are the one now to start doing the service. So I am urging our members in parliament, members in the opposition, it is now a generational course. The kind of legislation, the kinds of laws that you are going to have in that parliament will determine the future of the next generation. Because we are going to see a emerging future coming after you. What have you done for the emerging future?
What legacy are you leaving?
What legacy you people are going to leave? We don't want to see a legacy of living out, getting out of parliament every day. Discuss matters there. The floor has been given to you. We did not send you to parliament to go out. Discuss issues inside there, disagree inside there, and agree inside
and find
there.
solutions.
That is it.
Absolutely. So earlier on in the Twitter Jobs Part 1, myself and Sarah were actually looking at some of the responses that were coming in on Twitter. And some people did highlight the fact that the move of the Right Honorable Annet Among, the move to remove Honorable Zake as Parliament Commissioner is a stain on her tenure. Would you agree, or what are your thoughts?
Parliament has got its own procedure. Parliament has got its own rules. In this matter, I think Parliament has pronounced itself, not Annet Among. That is the problem we have in this country. It is not Annet Among. It is Parliament
that made the judgment.
It has entered into the record and in the answer of Parliament. Okay? And this matter was not raised by the Speaker. It was raised by a member. And the member was very clear, I am not protecting Right Honorable Annet Among. I am protecting office of the Deputy Speaker. I may be sitting there tomorrow and any member wake up and insult. So people who are judging the Right Honorable Annet Among should also have a considered opinion that what if it was your office? And I remember, I think Right Honorable Matthias Mpuga went and told Annet Among and said, Right Honorable Speaker, why don't you forgive Zake? Okay? And she said, the way he made those remarks, let him go and make it the same. Did Zake apologize on Twitter? He refused. So, I think she was setting a precedent of discipline.
Calling the house in order.
Yes. You don't just wake up and insult. Even it will not now stop in the office of the Speaker. It will now even stop in how the members conduct themselves. If you insult a fellow member, call a fellow member all sorts kinds of names, the precedent has been set.
That the consequences for your actions.
There are consequences. You will be sent to Abudu Cartoon to lead the committee. You are investigated, defend yourself, a report is given out, suspended from the house for certain sittings. So it will bring members on order. So I think it was done to reinstall discipline. Because this parliament had just started, there was no any other serious indiscipline. So if you allow such kind of things to persist, you may be unable to control parliament. So let us not look into the matter of Zake, so much as a very serious issue. I have heard Honorable Bobby Wine he says he will take his name back. He's their commissioner. We are going to see, it's a new era. I would maybe request a Right Honorable Speaker to look into it if the opposition sent him back and is willing to change. He could be given a second chance, it is my thought. He could be given a second chance and said, okay, you are a old commissioner. Now you're a new commissioner. Learn to work with the people.
Yes.
Okay? Hey, mind your manners. This is not your house. This is house of a knowledgeable people. This is house belongs to honorable members
of parliament.
So you do things honorably. I think he can be given a second chance.
So in your capacity, and of course as a citizen of Uganda, some people have felt that up until now it was too soon to hold elections. Of course, in regard, I know the constitution stipulated, but people still feel that it was too soon for us to elect a Speaker of Parliament and a Deputy Speaker of Parliament, even before the body of the fallen former Speaker of Parliament is laid to rest.
Myself personally, I had a different thought.
Okay.
When you look at the Constitution, did not talk to, the law is silent on who takes what as per the issue of the Speaker. But it says that if the office of the Speaker falls vacant,
Yes.
there shall be no business in Parliament. Now, Deputy Speaker is part of Speakership. So, could it be if there is no Speaker and the Deputy, that's when the business shall not be conducted? It takes us to the legal interpretation
Of the Constitution.
of the Constitution. So, this decision, if the legal Puritans are not very careful, it can be challenged. The Constitution did not talk about an individual. It talks about the office. When the office of the Speaker falls vacant, there shall be no business. But now we have a Deputy Speaker, which means that there is Speaker. Are you seeing?
Yes.
There is Speaker. The head is not there, but there is Speaker. So the only issue was that, could the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, becomes the Speaker? So that we avoid election of the Speaker? Legal interpretation is needed there.
So do you think the Constitution then should be amended?
I have told Ugandans before, the problem we have in this country is that when you start making people to think they hate you, I have opened a discussion, they will start quarreling. They have not even sat down, think thoroughly, think deeply. Said, the discussion has been started. Can we look into it? They will start insulting you on social media. I have seen somebody said, you are also going to die like Olanya. Really? It is now years and years that the Constitution has not been reviewed. Now you can see messes the Constitution is entering us into. The Constitution has made us to elect a new Speaker when even the fallen Speaker is not buried. Are we not seeing there was a problem in that Constitution? So I am requesting His Excellency the President of this country, if he truly loves this country, let him set a Constitutional Review Commission.
Okay.
To review our Constitution. The Constitution is one thing. Let us stop this business of each and every member will be coming with a private member's bill to amend the Constitution when it wants to suit certain category of people.
That is indeed true.
Okay? And every time that such members goes to seek a leave of parliament, needs to get a financial certificate of financial implication. Why don't we have financial implication on Constitution once for all? Put a budget aside. If it is 3 billion, put 3 billion. If it is 5 billion, put 5 billion. Give it to the commission and say, please review this Constitution of Uganda. These people will ask others Ugandan. So we have come with an amendment. That's why you see some of us now coming up with amendment. Looking into the Constitution, we're seeing regional government. It is in the Constitution. It has not been implemented, regional tiers. It is there lying. Okay, Article 191, 196 and 98, 98 is there. It has never been implemented. Okay? We are saying restore the presidential term limit. If we had a review commission of the Constitution, this would be discussed. Restore the presidential term limit, entrench it in the Constitution. Are you seeing?
Yes.
There are so many things that need to be revised in that Constitution. So, What happened right now, let the death of the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya be an eye-opener.
Absolutely.
To this country, that the constitution of Uganda need to be revised. Now, before we know, you will see those members of parliament rushing. I'm seeking leave of parliament to amend Article 1, blah, blah, of the constitution, which states this. They are ready. The others who are ready, waiting. The business to resume PAP comes with a private member's bill. And people who will be doing this will come from NRM side. Instead of a member said, Right Honorable Speaker, it is time that Parliament should pass a resolution and give President a timeline.
Yes.
Okay? To form a constitutional review commission. We want Attorney General to come on the floor of Parliament. Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, tell us what are they thinking about this constitution. So that we can review this constitution, have new things, strike old things, amend new things, repeal the old things. You know, Kenya just amended their constitution. Actually, they promulgated a new constitution in 2010. For us in Uganda, don't touch. It is not a Bible. It is not a Quran. It is a constitution that governs the country. So if the Ugandans are feeling that the constitution is no longer serving them well, why do you get so rigid?
Okay.
Why are you so mean? Not to allow us amend this constitution.
Okay, so thank you so much for those words of wisdom. And time may not be our best ally, but as we wrap up the conversation, I cannot forget to ask, and now that the members of parliament have elected both a new speaker and a deputy speaker, looking at the bill that you moved in regard to MPs being allowed to vote for president, do you think that now is also a right time to bring it forth? My
time when I need members of parliament will be a time that I think they have to approve. Actually, I need the Minister of Finance to give me a certificate of financial implications.
Okay.
Then also I need members to now take a referendum to a debate when that time comes. But what I have done so far is to seek permission from the Electoral Commission. They have given me a green light. We have about 18,529,000 registered voters according to the communication the Electoral Commission has given me. So we start collecting signatures for Ugandans to cause a referendum because some of the things that we need, it needs a referendum. And if the Constitutional Review Commission had come, or the president may be formed it earlier, we would say, okay, since the review commission has finally been put in place, let this matter be fixed. Let us be heard by the Constitutional Review Commission and see whether this issue can be fixed in the Constitution, and then finally will be sent to Parliament for approval. So, but until if it is not done so, the journey to Canaan is on. And we are going to finish the burial of the Right Honorable Jacob. Then after that, I will launch the signature collection from Busoga.
Okay.
And also after that, I'm going to meet the boss house. I will meet the leader of the opposition, and I want him to call for me the opposition caucus and talk to them, convince them, persuade them, because it is my duty. Okay? Anybody who is opposing this is right. It is now my duty to persuade someone to know that what I am proposing, it is good for the interest of this country. So I'm writing. Actually, I would have finished meeting them if this sudden news of the death of the speaker had not, strike the country. So I'll be meeting the members of the opposition under the leadership of Right Honorable Matthias Mpuga. I will also meet the NRM caucus. I want the caucus to be called for me and my members of Transformers and persuade members of the caucus so that they can support this. I will also have time with the members of the Central Executive, which I am now vying for the national vice for NRM Northern Uganda. A position has fallen vacant after the death of the Right Honorable Jacob. So that position is open. So I am also going to be wrestling with others, members coming from the north for the same position. So I will be also meeting the Central Executive that is chaired by His Excellency the President, who is the national chairman of NRM. So the Transformer Cadres Association is moving very well. Therefore, I want to request my fellow countrymen and women, don't make noise. Don't insult. Let us not insult one another.
Yes.
Let us disagree on ideas, in principle.
And intellect.
Yes. Let us bring that your ideology. Give me your idea, substance, opinion. But if you want to draw me to a cheap insult, you want to draw me into a cheap propaganda, you want to draw me into a cheap personalities attack, I think I am above that.
You highlighted if you want to draw me to a cheap personality attack, and actually looking at some of the comments coming in from the people that are watching live, someone on Twitter is saying, is this particular move a way of you seeking the face of the president or looking for attention? So is this something that you would actually term as a cheap insult move on your personality?
The person that I will always seek his attention with passion is God.
Okay.
The person that I seek his attention with a lot of humility and respect is God.
Okay.
Okay?
Very profound.
I don't need to seek attention of His Excellency the President. He is my national chairman of NRM. I am a member of the party. I have right. Unless they are telling me that the party members should not have right. I have right to speak to the national chairman as a member of the party and tell him, right, you see, chairman, there's this thing happening. The legislation, the amendment we are talking here is for Uganda, not for NRM. Museveni even will put his signature. I need to collect his signature as a voter. Okay?
Okay.
But in one way or the other, is a stakeholder in this. Since NRM is the majority, is the biggest political party with a lot of followers in this country, and he is the chairperson of that political organization, I need to get to him. He's a key player in this. He's a chairperson of the biggest political organization and a ruling party.
Of course.
Okay? And at the same time, he's a fountain of honor, the president of the republic. Okay?
Yes.
Therefore, you cannot do without getting to him. So those who are calling attention seekers and so on, they are out of order.
They should
In
be
fact,
to order.
they are the one who is seeking attention. They want to seek my attention so that I can respond to them. I am telling you, I have no your time.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Felix, for joining us this morning on the conversation of Sunrise at Sea, and throwing more insight when it comes to the speakership, when it comes to the leadership in regard to the speakership of Parliament of Uganda.
My last remarks is that I want to wish to Rt.Hon Annet Among good luck. I want to wish the leader of opposition good luck
as well.
I want to wish the NRM leadership. Right now we don't have the government chief whip. I think the president will do some minor reshufflement very soon. I want to wish the NRM leadership also a good luck. It is only 4 years. We are waiting and keenly watching these 4 years. If can be a game changer, if it can be a life changer for this country.
Absolutely.
So we are giving you your 4 years. Do whatever you want to do within your mandates and deliver. For us, we are here, we are ready to be, we are ready
All you want is result.
to give you support. Where you need support, consult.
Okay.
Don't be too arrogant. Don't be too proud. Because we have seen, however proud you are, however arrogant you can be, when your position falls vacant, people will come for it.
Okay.
So work with everybody to leave a legacy. Let the death of Olanya make us start thinking, what legacy do I have if tomorrow I am no more? What is that they are going to remember me with? By fighting in parliament, jumping on tables, raising unnecessary point of order, raising unnecessary procedures, giving uncoordinated information. Start thinking. You as a legislator, start thinking, what legacy will I leave? What precedent will I set for this country? Go back to the old Anshads, where Norbert Maus were in floor of parliament.
Okay.
Where those of Ayumes were there. Where the Olanyas were in the floor.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Go back to those answers. Where the Ben Watchers were there.
Absolutely.
Look into those answers. Compare with your debate of today. Set a quality.
Oh,
So that when the next 12 of parliament people are coming,
okay.
they have what to do.
Okay.
That's my
Your humble
appeal
Okay.
to members of parliament, my humble appeal to the new administration of parliament.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Felix Adopa, for joining us this morning on CTV. And that wraps up the conversation that I had for you this morning on the Twitter Jabs. We take a quick breather, but we still have a lot in store for you. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea.